What if I told you that the multiverse is not expanding anymore? It's collapsing. What if every universe we've watched, every sacrifice we've cried over, every victory we've celebrated is heading toward a single, unavoidable collision? And what if, for the first time in the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, our heroes can't save everyone? For years, the MCU has teased the idea that reality isn't a straight line. It's a web. A fragile, trembling web of infinite Earths. We saw the cracks forming in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We felt the instability in Spider-Man, No Way Home. We watched timelines fracture in Loki, but those were only symptoms, small tremors before the earthquake. Now the real story is emerging, and it's darker than anything Marvel has ever attempted. The upcoming chapter, Avengers Doomsday, isn't just another team-up movie. It's the beginning of the end, and it draws directly from one of the most complex, emotionally devastating comic runs ever written, Jonathan Hickman's legendary work on New Avengers and Secret Wars. But this isn't surface-level inspiration. This is structural, philosophical, existential. In Hickman's saga, the multiverse begins to die through events called incursions. Imagine two Earths from two different universes appearing in the same space at the same time. They start drifting toward each other, slowly at first, then faster, and if nothing is done. Both universes are annihilated. The only way to stop it? Destroy one Earth before the collision completes. Think about that for a moment. Not evacuate, not negotiate, not reverse the process with some clever scientific trick. Destroy. This is the moral trap at the center of Doomsday, and it's a trap designed to break heroes. For decades, Captain America, whether it's Steve Rogers or Sam Wilson, has stood for the belief that there's always another way, that you don't trade lives, that you don't compromise your soul to win. But what happens when there is no third option? When the choice isn't between right and wrong, but between extinction and survival? This is where the ideological war begins. In the comics, a secret group known as the Illuminati, led by minds like Reed Richards and Tony Stark, decided to handle the incursions quietly. They built weapons, planet-killing weapons. They told themselves it was necessary, that sacrificing one Earth to save infinite others was logical, mathematical, inevitable. But logic has never been the currency of heroes like Captain America. When he discovered what they were doing, he didn't see necessity. He saw betrayal. He saw the line being crossed, and he declared them enemies. Now imagine that conflict on screen. Imagine Sam Wilson standing across from Reed Richards, one arguing that morality defines humanity, the other arguing that survival defines it, both believing they're right. Both knowing millions know trillions will die based on their decision. This isn't a villain attacking Earth. This is heroes tearing each other apart over what it means to save the world. And while they argue, someone else is watching. He won't enter the story as a cackling tyrant. He won't begin as the obvious threat. In fact, when Dr. Doom steps into the MCU's larger narrative, he may look like the only person who truly understands what's happening. Because Doom doesn't waste time debating ethics when reality itself is collapsing. He sees the incursions for what they are, the death throes of a broken system. The multiverse cannot be saved, not entirely, not perfectly. And unlike the Avengers, he accepts that truth immediately. That acceptance makes him dangerous. While the heroes struggle with impossible choices, Doom begins building something else entirely. Not a weapon to stop the incursions, not a machine to reverse them, but a contingency for after everything dies. If you can't save the multiverse, what if you rebuild it? That's the terrifying brilliance of his plan. As the final incursion approaches, the last two surviving universes colliding. There's a desperate realization among the greatest minds of the MCU, Reed Richards, Shuri, perhaps even Beast. They understand that there is no stopping what's coming. So instead of trying to preserve reality, they try to outlast its destruction. They design vessels called life rafts. These aren't ships meant to escape into space. They're constructs engineered to exist outside of space and time itself. When the final collision erases everything, every galaxy, every star, every timeline, the occupants of these rafts will survive in the void between what was and what will be. In the comics, there were two rafts, one filled with heroes we trust, another carrying individuals far more dangerous. Now picture that translated to film, as the sky literally fractures, as cities crumble not from invasion, but from reality unraveling at the atomic level, as Avengers fight not aliens but inevitability. A small group boards these vessels, knowing they are leaving everyone else behind. There's no triumphant score here, no promise of rescue. Just the cold understanding that they are surviving the end of existence. And then everything goes white. Not explosion, not fire, silence. Because the multiverse is gone. What comes next is where the story becomes mythic. From the fragments of destroyed realities, something new forms. A patchwork world stitched together from the remains of countless universes. Pieces of civilizations that never should have touched. Cities that once existed light years apart, now sharing borders. Technologies and magic clashing in unstable harmony. This world has a name, Battleworld, and at its center sits a throne. On that throne is Dr. Doom. But this isn't the Doom we've known from previous adaptations. This is something far more unsettling. He doesn't rule through constant fear. He rules through narrative control, through memory manipulation, through rewriting history itself. On Battleworld, Doom isn't a conqueror. He's God. The inhabitants of this stitched-together reality don't remember the multiverse. They don't remember Earth 616 or alternate timelines. For them, Doom is the creator, the savior who formed order out of nothingness, and perhaps the most disturbing part, he believes it. Because from his perspective, he did save something. While heroes argued, he acted. While they clung to morality, he ensured survival, however twisted. In this new world, Reed Richards doesn't stand beside Sue Storm as her husband. Doom does. He has taken the life Reed should have had. He sits at the head of a family that isn't truly his, and the children Franklin and Valeria know him as father. It's not just power he's stolen, it's identity. But peace in Battleworld is fragile, and Doom knows it. To maintain order, he establishes enforcers. Multiversal Thors acting as a kind of cosmic police force. Imagine dozens of versions of Thor, each from different destroyed realities bound together under Doom's rule. The Thor Corps. And overseeing the delicate balance is a man who understands magic and consequence better than most Doctor Strange, serving not as Sorcerer Supreme, but as Doom's sheriff. Not out of blind loyalty, but perhaps out of necessity or guilt. Because when the multiverse ended, choices were made. And somewhere beyond the skies of Battleworld, hidden in the void, the life rafts drift. Inside them are the ones who remember. They remember the incursions, the arguments, the sacrifices. They remember that this world is a lie stitched together by a single will. When those rafts open, when survivors step onto Battleworld with memories intact, the illusion begins to crack. This is where Doomsday transitions into something even larger, something final. Because what we're building toward isn't just the fall of a villain, it's the reconstruction of everything. Marvel Studios has hinted for years that the multiverse saga would end differently than the Infinity Saga. Kevin Feige has spoken about evolution, about change, about new beginnings, and Secret Wars provides the perfect mechanism when Battleworld collapses and it-will reality can be rebuilt, not as it was, but as it needs to be. Imagine a single sacred timeline where the X-Men have always existed, where the Fantastic Four are foundational heroes, where old characters can return in new forms, not through cheap resurrection, but through cosmic restructuring. The destruction of the multiverse becomes an opportunity, a soft reboot hidden inside the most ambitious story Marvel has ever told. But before any of that rebirth happens, there is Doomsday. There are incursions still to come. There are friendships that will fracture. There are lines that will be crossed. And somewhere in the shadows of collapsing universes, Dr. Doom is already calculating. Because to him, this isn't apocalypse, it's ascension. The first cracks don't sound like explosions. They sound like silence. Entire sections of the sky begin to lose their color, as if someone is draining reality through invisible fractures. Scientists call it cosmic instability. Sorcerers call it dimensional bleed. But for the people standing on the streets, watching constellations rearrange themselves like broken glass, it feels like something far simpler. The end. The Avengers assemble not against an invading army, not against a single tyrant, but against data-cold projections that all lead to the same conclusion. Another incursion is coming, and this time, the window to act isn't weeks, it's hours. Reed Richards stands before holographic models of two Earths spiraling toward one another. One of them is theirs, the other is populated, alive. Full of people who laugh, love, argue, and believe their tomorrow is guaranteed. Reed doesn't speak like a hero in that moment. He speaks like a mathematician cornered by inevitability. If nothing is done, both universes vanish. If one Earth is destroyed, the other survives. It sounds simple when reduced to logic. It feels monstrous when spoken aloud. Sam Wilson listens in silence. The shield rests beside him, but it feels heavier than vibranium. He has carried the symbol of hope through wars and invasions, but this isn't a battlefield you can charge into. This is a moral execution chamber. Across the table, Shuri's brilliance is racing through simulations. She proposes alternatives energy dispersal fields, quantum phase shifting, attempts to push one Earth slightly out of sync with its universe. Every option collapses under the same pressure. There isn't enough time. And that's when the room fractures. Not physically, ideologically. Some argue survival must come first. Others argue survival without morality isn't worth achieving. The old fault lines from the era of Captain America. Civil War begin to resurface, but this time there are no accords to debate, no oversight committees to blame, only a choice that stains whoever makes it. In another corner of existence, far removed from the noise of heroism, Victor Von Doom watches the same projections. He does not rage at them. He does not deny them. He studies them. Where the Avengers see tragedy, Doom sees structure. The incursions aren't random disasters. They are symptoms of something larger and instability baked into the multiverse itself. Too many branches. Too many overlapping realities straining against cosmic law. Collapse is not a malfunction, it is correction. And Doom does not fight correction. He plans beyond it. While Earth's mightiest heroes debate whether they can live with blood on their hands, Doom begins acquiring relics, artifacts pulled from dying dimensions, fragments of cosmic power once dismissed as myth. He understands something the others don't yet grasp. There will be a final incursion, a last collision where the remaining universes meet. When that happens, no weapon will matter, only preparation for what comes after. Back in the Avengers war room, the unthinkable finally happens. A device is built, not with pride, not with ceremony, built like a coffin waiting to be used, a mechanism capable of destabilizing a planetary core from a distance. No explosions visible from space, just silent disintegration. Sam refuses to authorize it. Reed insists that refusal guarantees extinction. The argument doesn't escalate into punches. It descends into something worse: disappointment. The kind that fractures trust permanently. When Sam walks out, shield in hand, he isn't rejecting Reed's intelligence. He's rejecting the idea that heroism must evolve into execution. But Reed doesn't stop, because somewhere, on another Earth racing toward collision, their versions of the Avengers are having the same debate. And one of them might choose first. The sky turns red at the horizon, not from fire, from gravitational distortion as two planetary bodies begin overlapping in the same cosmic coordinates. Oceans ripple without wind. Compasses spin uselessly. Every satellite feed confirms it. Impact in 60 minutes. In those final moments, something unexpected happens. A transmission breaks through. It's from the other Earth. They're Reed Richards. They're Avengers. And their message is simple. We will do what you cannot. There is no hatred in it. No blame. Just resolve. Sam watches the other planet shimmer and then collapse into a pinpoint of light before vanishing entirely. Billions erased in an instant. The collision halts. Their Earth survives. No one cheers, because survival has a cost, and even though their hands remain technically clean, the weight is shared. That's the first time something inside the Avengers truly cracks. It won't be the last. Incursions accelerate. What was once rare becomes frequent. Weeks turn into days between collisions. Sometimes the opposing Earth fights back. Sometimes both sides deploy weapons. The multiverse begins devouring itself in a desperate struggle to outlive its own decay. Trust erodes. Whispers spread that certain heroes are acting without consensus, that secret meetings are happening, that decisions are being made in shadows. The idea of an Illuminati never formally named begins to take shape. Not as a villainous cabal, but as a group convinced they must operate beyond emotional interference. Sam discovers it by accident. A hidden lab. A star map littered with destroyed universes marked like casualties in a war ledger. And at the center of it all, Reed exhausted, haunted, but unwavering. The confrontation isn't loud. It's quiet and devastating. You don't get to decide who lives, Sam says. And you don't get to let everyone die, Reed answers. There is no reconciliation, only distance. Meanwhile, the final incursion approaches. 2 universes remain, yours and another. This time, both Earths are equally desperate, equally advanced, equally unwilling to disappear. The difference is that Victor Von Doom has already calculated the outcome. There is no stopping this collision. So while the Avengers prepare for battle, some ready to defend, others prepare to strike first, Doom activates the final phase of his design. Deep in hidden facilities, construction completes on vessels unlike anything seen before. Life rafts. Not ships of steel and thrusters, but constructs woven from quantum insulation, mystical reinforcement, and fragments of reality-shielding technology, designed not to outrun destruction, but to exist beyond it. Reed learns of them too late. He realizes Doom never intended to win the incursion. He intends to survive it. As the 2 universes draw closer, gravitational forces tear at coastlines. Cities flicker between existence and transparency. People see glimpses of another sky overlapping their own. The Avengers assemble one last time, not to defeat a villain, but to confront extinction itself. Sam stands at the front line, shield raised against nothing visible. Across space, another captain mirrors him. Two symbols of hope staring at each other through the thinning veil of reality. No words can bridge that distance. The collision begins. Mountains crumble as physics collapses. The sun fractures into overlapping images. Time itself stutters. Moments repeating, skipping, unraveling. In the chaos, select individuals board the life rafts, not out of cowardice, out of obligation to memory, to possibility. Reed steps inside one, Shuri another. A handful of heroes, and in a separate vessel, figures whose morality is far less stable. Sam hesitates. Leaving feels like surrender, but staying means oblivion. At the last second, he boards. The doors seal. Outside, the multiverse ends. Not with thunder, not with screams, but with erasure. Galaxies fold inward like collapsing lungs. Every timeline, every alternate history, every branching possibility compresses into nothingness. Inside the life rafts, there is no sensation of movement, only darkness, silence stretching beyond comprehension, time no longer measurable. Then, slowly, something changes. Light returns, but it is different, heavier, artificial in its perfection. The rafts drift downward, not through space, but into something constructed. When the doors finally open, the survivors step onto soil that should not exist. Above them stretches a sky stitched together from fragments of countless realities. Mountains carved from worlds long dead. Oceans drawn from universes that no longer have names, and at the horizon, rising above all of it, stands a citadel, white, immaculate, absolute. A voice echoes across the sky, not through speakers, but through reality itself. Welcome. The survivors look toward the throne at the center of this impossible world. Victor Von Doom stands robed not as a warlord, but as a sovereign. Not scarred by defeat, crowned by survival. The multiverse is gone, but something else has taken its place. And the man who now rules it believes he is its savior. For a long moment, no one speaks. The air on this new world feels real. The ground beneath their feet is solid. The wind carries the scent of oceans and forests stitched together from universes that no longer exist. If they didn't remember the end, if they hadn't watched stars collapse into nothingness, they might believe this place had always been here. But they remember, and that makes them dangerous. Above them, banners ripple from towers, carved into mountains that look like pieces of shattered planets fused into one landscape. Regions stretch out in unnatural harmony, medieval kingdoms bordering futuristic skylines, wastelands pressed against cities that resemble Wakanda and Latveria combined. Every section feels like a memory forced into submission. At the center of it all rises Doomsday, and seated upon its highest balcony, cloaked in white and green, is Victor Von Doom, not as a general commanding armies, but as a god presiding over creation. He does not look surprised to see the life rafts open. In fact, he looks almost disappointed, because their survival was the only variable he could not fully control. The survivors move cautiously through this reconstructed reality. Reed Richards studies the sky and immediately understands the scale of what has been done. This is not an illusion. It is not a hologram or a spell layered over nothingness. It is architecture. Entire realities have been dissected and reassembled into one planetary structure. Sections of dead universes fused together with surgical precision. The multiverse reduced to fragments and reorganized. Only someone who accepted total annihilation could have dared attempt this. Only someone who believed himself superior to creation would succeed. As they travel across this patchwork world, they encounter something even more unsettling. The people here are living normal lives. Children laugh. Markets bustle. Warriors patrol borders between territories as if ancient rivalries still matter. No one is panicking. No one is questioning their existence because they don't remember anything else. To them, this world has always been, and doom has always ruled. Reed pieces together the horror of it slowly. Doom didn't just rebuild land and cities, he rebuilt narrative. He rewrote history itself. The inhabitants of Battleworld believe Doom forged them from chaos, that he saved them from nothingness, that he is the architect of their continued existence, and perhaps in a twisted way, he is. When the survivors finally reach the outer regions of Doomsday, they are intercepted by a thunderous formation descending from the sky. Not one Thor, dozens. Different armor, different ages, different versions of the same god from universes that no longer exist. The Thor Corps. They do not attack immediately. They assess. Their eyes carry faint recognition, as if some echo of memory trembles beneath the surface. But their loyalty is clear. They serve the God Emperor Doom. Behind them appears another familiar face calm, solemn, burdened, Doctor Strange. No longer sorcerer supreme of a single universe. Now the sheriff of Battleworld. His gaze meets Reed's, then Sam's. And in that look is something complicated. Regret, resignation, perhaps even complicity. Stand down, Strange tells the Thors quietly, because he remembers. Not everything, but enough. The survivors are escorted into Doomsday not as prisoners, but as anomalies. Variables reintroduced into an equation Doom believed solved. As they ascend toward the throne room, the scale of Doom's ambition becomes undeniable. Statues carved in his image tower over plazas. Murals depict him holding fragments of dying worlds in his hands. Entire histories rewritten to center around his mercy. When they finally stand before him, Doom does not rise in anger. He rises in pride. You survived, he says, as though addressing students who passed an exam. Reed steps forward first. You stole everything. Doom's mask tilts slightly. I saved what I could. And there it is. The core of their conflict laid bare. Reed sees theft. Doom sees preservation. Sam sees tyranny. Doom sees order. You destroyed universes, Sam says. They were already dying, Doom replies. I gave their remnants purpose. And for a terrifying moment, the logic almost holds. Because without Doom, there would be nothing. No sky, no ground, no life. But survival built on manipulation is not salvation. It is control. Reed notices something else then. Sue Storm stands at Doom's side, not imprisoned, not coerced. She looks at Reed with confusion, as though recognizing a stranger from a half-forgotten dream. Beside her stand Franklin and Valeria children, who should have been Reed's legacy. In this world, Doom is their father. He didn't just reshape geography, he replaced identities. This is the final insult, the ultimate assertion of superiority. Doom has taken Reed's greatest achievements, his family, his future, and rewritten them as his own. The confrontation that follows is not a battle of fists. It is a battle of philosophy. Reed argues that no one man has the right to decide reality's structure. Doom counters that no one else had the will to act when annihilation came. Sam challenges the morality of rewriting minds. Doom asks whether remembered suffering is preferable to peaceful ignorance. Every argument circles the same truth. Doom did what the heroes could not, but that does not make him right. Outside the throne room, something begins to ripple across Battleworld. The presence of the survivors destabilizes Doom's carefully maintained narrative. Tiny cracks appear in memory. Citizens experience flashes, visions of other skies, other lives. The illusion begins to strain under the weight of truth. The Thor Corps hesitate in their patrols. Some begin questioning orders. Strange's composure fractures as suppressed memories resurface. Doom senses it immediately. Control is slipping. And for the first time since the multiverse died, fear flickers beneath his mask. What follows is inevitable. Battle erupts not as a clean war, but as reality tearing at its own stitches. Regions of Battleworld begin destabilizing as the underlying fragments reject forced unity. Heroes clash with Thors. Magic collides with cosmic science. Mountains split along seams where universes were fused. Reed confronts Doom at the heart of Doomsday while the world trembles around them. "You were never a god," Reed says. "You were just the last man standing." Doom's power is immense, drawn from energies harvested at the moment of multiversal collapse. He reshapes matter with a gesture. He bends gravity. He strikes with the force of dying stars. But absolute power cannot silence doubt. Every memory returning to the people of Battleworld weakens him. Every citizen realizing they once lived another life chips away at the foundation of his authority. Because Doom's greatest weapon was belief, and belief is breaking. In the final exchange, it isn't brute force that defeats him, it's acceptance. Reed doesn't try to seize godhood. He doesn't attempt to rule in Doom's place. Instead, he does something Doom never could. He lets go. He channels the remaining multiversal energy not into control, but into restoration. Not to recreate every lost timeline exactly as before, that is impossible. But to build a single, stable reality where fragments can coexist without deception. Doom realizes too late that Reed's strength was never in domination, it was in trust. As Battleworld collapses around them, as stitched lands separate into raw cosmic matter, Doom's power unravels. He stands amidst the dissolving throne room, not screaming, not raging, just staring at the unraveling sky he once commanded. "I saved them," he insists quietly. "You saved yourself," Reed answers. And then the light consumes everything. When reality settles again, it is different. One sky, one Earth. Not identical to the old one, but whole. In this new timeline, mutants have always existed. The Fantastic Four are pioneers, not anomalies. Heroes once separated by studio rights and narrative boundaries now share the same history seamlessly. The past has been rewritten, not erased, but refined. The multiverse. Saga ends not with infinite branches, but with unity. Sam Wilson stands overlooking a city that feels familiar yet new. The weight of impossible choices still lingers, but the burden of annihilation is gone. The Avengers will assemble again, not because the world is ending, but because it continues. Somewhere in the shadows of memory, a scarred man named Victor Von Doom still exists. Not as a god, not as a savior. Just a man who believed control was the same as salvation. And maybe in another time he will try again. But for now, the universe breathes. And for the first time since the incursions began, it isn't counting down to destruction, it's moving forward. If this journey through the end of everything gave you chills, if you felt the weight of those impossible choices, then you already know this is just the beginning of a new era. like, share, and subscribe because the next chapter of Marvel's story might be even bigger than the last.